Hello and welcome to Driveline Golf. A couple of weeks ago I was interviewed for a documentary that was being made about golf holidays, and it struck me that a lot of the questions that I was being asked were to do with things apart from the booking of the golf holiday. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about financial protection. When you see the APTA symbol on a tour operator's brochure, or you see it on their website, what does that actually mean in terms of protecting your monies in the unlikely event that something should go wrong with that tour operator? I was asked for my views on the carriage of golf clubs by airlines. As you know, many airlines these days charge for the carriage of golf clubs, and I was asked for my views as to how we could necessarily minimise those costs. And there were many other things besides. I was asked for when is the right time to pay your deposit, what is the best way to necessarily book airport hotels before you fly out. These and many other things besides. And it struck me that these are things that I should be sharing with a wider audience. To people who, even if you are not a Driveline Golf customer, even if you have your own favourite tour operator, these are things that are still pertinent and relevant to you, and that they should be considered before you actually travel away on your golf holiday. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting a couple of short videos together which are tips and tricks that you should really pay attention to before you actually travel on your golf holiday. And by doing so, you can minimise some of the pitfalls that may await you were you to ignore them. I have to say, they're not particularly exciting subjects, but they are important. And it's because they're not exciting that we tend to overlook them. But unless we address them, sometimes the holiday could be spoiled simply because we haven't crossed a few T's and dotted a few I's before we travel. Here's an example of what I mean. This is a subject that really nobody likes to talk about, but it is so important. I'm talking about travel insurance. Most of the time, we're not going to need insurance. We're not going to call on that policy. But it's still very important that we have one. So much so that the Foreign and Commonwealth Office have gathered statistics to highlight the importance of insurance. And if you want to see the results of those findings, well then, just give us a call and we'll happily provide them for you. And it's not just us that says insurance is important. APTA itself, as a regulatory body, also highlights the importance of taking travel insurance. Because every year they see instances where holidaymakers suffer substantial medical expenses and are not necessarily insured to cover those costs. Now you may think that you've got a European health insurance card, so you don't need travel insurance. Well, even the NHS, who provide the health insurance card, tell us otherwise. Now there are lots of insurance policies out there. Indeed, some credit cards offer travel insurance if you book your holiday using their card. The important thing, however, is to make sure that the policy covers all of your needs, particularly on golf holidays. So read your policy carefully and make sure it covers all the things that are listed here. One of the most disappointing phone calls that we get to our office is when someone has booked their holiday sometimes months in advance, and then, for totally unforeseen for perfectly legitimate reasons, has to cancel. By which time we've paid all the suppliers, so the chances of recovering their money are not there. But we say, don't worry, your holiday insurance will take care of it. And then there's a pause on the end of the line, and we know exactly what's coming next. They haven't taken out insurance, and therefore they're liable for the costs. And that's not a conversation that we want to have with you. So please, before you travel, ensure that you've got adequate golf holiday insurance. We can help you with that, but please, even if you don't book it with us, make sure that you've got it. And make sure it covers all the pertinent things. I'm talking about make sure all your medical expenses are covered. Make sure that in the event that anything gets stolen, whether it's money or whether it's belongings, that they're covered. And make sure that, most importantly, in the unlikely event that you need to cancel, that the costs for doing so are covered by your holiday insurance. We look forward to hearing from you.